looks like fucking rain, man. We're walking back to get the umbrella. We're walking back to get the fucking umbrella because it looks like rain is coming for chow mein time. By the time chow mein rolls around, it's going to be raining. It's drizzling now. I got this fucking crust on my lips from eating this shit yesterday. This COVID poison yesterday was in the food again, so think about it like this. Let's say that Whitey has a country. Let's say that Whitey has a country. Whitey was wise enough to look after his hens and his people, and Whitey has a country. Let's say that there's a scenario where an empire invades. Now you have an empire that invades. And the next thing that happens after this foreign empire invades is that they hold elections. That's America. That's America in a nutshell. That is America. So let's say Whitey has a country. Let's repeat this just to get it through everybody's. Just to make sure that everybody understands, because I know everybody's brain dead. Let's say Whitey has a country. Whitey is wise enough to look after all the hens in the pen. Whitey looks after his own people, like Whitey should. Right? Whitey should do that, right? Let's say you have a foreign fucking empire that invades, and the next thing they do after is hold elections. The next thing they do after is hold elections. That's America in a nutshell. That's also the UK to a large extent. Yeah, it's Europe in general. Europe in general after Genghis Khan, right? That's the first thing they do, actually, isn't it? The first thing they do is that the hominin comes around. I got money. Let's hold elections. The hominid comes around, tiptoe, and he wants to hold elections. That's what they do, right? Yeah, that's what they do. They've done that every time across Europe and North America. They pretty much, America got started with it, so America got started on it, so there's not much you can do in there, but let's just say Europe in general, right? Whitey has a country. Whitey is keeping all the hens in the pen, and Whitey looks after his folk. Yeah, he looks after his folk. A stupid Mongolian ugly motherfucker, a hominid motherfucker comes around and invades, and the next thing they do after that is hold elections. That's America. And this place. And this fucking place right here. See, the Hamid comes around, does an invasion with a fucking Mongolian empire, and money this and money that, they hold elections. That's what happens. Yeah. That's what happened in America. America got started on it. This place is not much better off. But like I said, usually that's the script. Usually that's the script that they follow. Yeah. Let's repeat the scenario for everybody that's brain dead. Whitey has a country. Whitey has a country. He's keeping all the hens in the pan. He looks after his folk, yeah, in his fucking country. You have a foreign fucking empire that invades with some kind of grandmaster fucking hominid who is rich. Yeah? And the next thing they do after that, after they invade, is they hold elections. Yeah, they hold elections. And that happened across Europe ever since Genghis Khan invaded. Let's look at South Africa. Granted, it's in the wrong place. It's in the wrong part of the world. Yeah, so you can't really complain much. It wasn't even necessary. I don't even know why it was done. Why would anybody make that kind of effort? Why the fuck would anybody leave Europe to go to South Africa to colonize it? But it's in the wrong place. It's in the wrong place in the world, right? So let's just take that as an example and go over what happened in there. Whitey left Europe and decided to go to South Africa and colonize South Africa. Yeah. There wasn't anybody there back. You have 1 billion people in Africa today. Back then, 1800s, 1700s, you would have had probably nobody in there anyway. You have 1 billion people in Africa today. Back then, you would have had maybe 200 million, maybe even less. On the biggest continent in the world, which is Africa. And back in the 1800s or 1700s, you would have had 300 million, maybe 200 million on the entire fucking continent. Right? There's no food. It's just tribes and shit. Every now and then you might find a tribe or two, hunting and shit, hunter-gatherers. Very primitive, right? Whitey goes to South Africa, finds nobody there, because remember, it was the 1600s, 1700s. Population in Africa would have been 300 million total, maybe less, 100 million. Who knows? Finds nobody there. He builds South Africa, really nice and shiny stuff. Big city by the 90s. Big city, nice and shiny roads, cars, industry, manufacturing. About 200 years or so of effort. That Whitey put in there. Right? Building up South Africa, nice and shiny stuff. Cities and towns and manufacturing and food production and good stuff, right? Good stuff. And then another Mongolian asswipe. Another fucking Mongolian asswipe called Nelson Mandela comes around and takes it from you. Just because. Yeah, isn't that what happened? Yes. That's what happened. A Mongolian asswipe piece of shit, Nelson Mandela, came around and took it from you. After you, Whitey, spent 200 years in there building that shit up for nothing. which is America today, isn't it? Yeah, that's what happened, didn't it? It's gonna rain. Is that lightning?
Sí, pero a mí me cobran pase. Pretty sure it's going to start raining by the time Chow May rolls around. By the time Chow May rolls around, we're not going to have any umbrella, and it's going to rain. Like I said, you know, it's a lesson learned. You know, South Africa is a good lesson learned. A good lesson to be had. Hopefully, hopefully Europeans will get this idea out of their head to settle far off distant places, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time, your effort. You lose it anyway. And then you get blamed. You get blamed for being a colonizer or some kind of colonizer, imperialist asshole for going to some place that is damn right nearly empty of any people,
and you get blamed for colonizing an empty place. You see, like I said, it's South Africa, just like America, itself, is a good example of what Europeans should never do. Yeah, you should never do that. Yeah, because in the end, you get blamed for doing it anyway. You lose all of it anyway, and it's 200, 300 years waste. 300 years at the very least in America. That is wasted time and effort. Wasted time and effort. That's what it is. That's what you need to understand. If you're a white European, it's not worth your time. It's not worth the effort. You lose it anyway, and then in the end, they blame you for quote unquote colonizing empty fucking territory like South Africa. Just like Louisiana, it would have been a fucking wilderness full of fucking a wilderness that with nothing in it. Just like Louisiana and the Mississippi in America and the Midwest in America, it would have been nothing but wilderness, except you wouldn't have had native tribes like the Native Americans. You would have had nothing but wilderness. That's what it was. And that's what South Africa was. Wilderness. Like Louisiana and Mississippi was when America was founded, right? Yeah, that's what it was, a swamp. See, I mean, it's not worth your time, it's not worth the effort. You lose 300 years worth of your fucking time and effort for nothing. It's true, isn't it? Yeah, very true. Fucking true as fuck, isn't it? Yeah. Find a sink to brush my teeth. My mouth is full of cordyceps. It's the COVID kind, It's gross. They keep saying maybe maybe you can maybe there's going to be a war or something, and they're going to go to war in America. Europe will go to war with America, or America will declare war on Europe, or whoever the fuck this group is. I don't know. They seem to be alluding to some kind of African country. That's the problem. First of all, like I said, it's not worth it. There's not enough racial differences. it's a decisive victory when you win on ideology and racial differences. The ideology is the same, racial differences are none. You're going to be dealing with too many, it's too much insubordination, too much difference of opinion as to what should be done. It's not worth it. Understand? Normally you have a decisive victory when you have a difference in ideology and a difference in race. Then you can say you have a decisive victory if you win. If you win, right? If you win and you have racial differences and you have ideological differences, then it's a decisive victory. If you don't have that, there's no point in doing it. And there's no racial differences right now. Not that many, not that much anyway. Between America, North America, and Europe. It's becoming it's getting to the point where it's not the decisive outcome that you can have, because there's no racial differences. It's not that many racial differences. Let's just say Scotland and Ireland and Britain, right? Let's just say the UK, the United Kingdom. Let's just say Ireland and Scotland and Britain. Is there racial differences? No, there isn't. Not that I can see, at least around here. So, you fight a war when you have ideological differences and racial differences that are worth fighting for. If you don't have them, it's probably not worth it. If you don't have said differences that you want to maintain, it's probably not worth doing. This thing is collapsing again. I'm fucking tired. It is drizzling, so we definitely need an umbrella. Fish out this fucking umbrella now. I know it's gonna rain by the time trout may comes around. I know that for sure. It always does. It always starts to rain when they bring the fucking food around. got the umbrella. Ugh. Tired. Good idea to take another shit, because I mean, the sugar we ate yesterday was pretty bad. I need to soak though. Like I said, you know, Nelson Mandela too was an employee. And he was an employee of the Five Eyes, like everybody else. Definitely didn't go to jail. Don't think for a second that Mandela, you know, rotted in prison. He definitely did not go to prison. You know, Nelson Mandela was an employee of the Five Eyes. London. London. So Nelson Mandela was an employee of London. That's why he was brought in. He was brought in, and they said he went to jail and rotted in jail for a while. He was president of South Africa because whatever. An employee, that's what Nelson Mandela was. An employee of the Five Eyes. Yeah, it's gonna start running.
But you had, like, you could only ever spend.
Don't think for a second that Nelson Mandela was some kind of a one-hit wonder or something that came and went. Yeah, Nelson Mandela was president of South Africa because he was an employee. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say that all brown people are bad. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying that, he was an employee. He was an employee of London.
It's up here.
I'm not trying to say that all brown people are bad just because Nelson Mandela is, even though he was just an employee doing whatever the hell he was told to do. Like I said, most non-whites do not have the willpower, do not have the institutional power to derail or to influence white people or South Africa. Most non-whites do not have the institutional power to derail, influence, or change the course of white countries and white people. This is done from within white countries by Jews. Managerial Jews that have enough wealth and power within white countries to change the course of South Africa or America. That's what's going on. You have a managerial issue. You have a management problem where they disproportionately now favor brown people, right? Brown people everywhere in America or South Africa or whatever the hell it is. Understand? Most brown folks, brown countries, third world countries do not have the institutional power to influence white countries. They do not have the institutional power to even come over here. Most, 90% of any third world countries, any brown countries do not have the institutional power to even come here. And this is done from within white countries by management. Someone within the white countries is in management is in favor of whatever this is, right? That's what's going on. I'm not automatically saying that all brown people are bad people or they serve Satan, Sauron. They serve the darkness. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it's a management issue within white countries that facilitates them coming here, them going to South Africa and putting Nelson Mandela in power, them overwhelming America, white America. It's a management issue where you have a manager that favors whatever this is. Right? It's not I'm not saying that brown people are all bad. I'm not saying that all brown people and all dark people serve the darkness. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that they do not have, 90% of them do not have the institutional prowess to come in here or elect Nelson Mandela for president in South Africa. I'm not saying that they have the institutional power to take over America. It's done by management. It's done by management. Someone in management is doing it. So, Nelson Mandela, for example, he was an employee of, Nelson Mandela was an employee of management.
Yeah, hopefully they bring something good. It's gonna start raining. My neck hurts. I mean, these days you can fight a war with a simulation anyway. You can just simulate. You can generate a simulation of a war. And depending on whatever side has the most resources, the most manpower, that side wins. You don't actually have to fight a physical war. You can generate the simulation of a war. Yeah, whoever has the most allies, whoever has the biggest coalition will win. Whoever has the most resources available. I mean, that's another way to win a war. You can generate the simulation of a war.
very damn hungry right now. My neck hurts. The drones are patrolling the sidewalks. They seem to be hyperactive. They've been out here since Friday, but mostly Saturday. It was Saturday when they when they slipped in.
Come check out the show. It's happening right here, right now, and only in this spot. I'm about to do some fire juggling for you live. Real circus style juggling in this spot. If you're watching, please do me a favor and help me make a circle here. The circle is here. You're sitting back from the
Can I, man?
I'm tired a little bit already. My neck hurts. My face is frozen. Got another hour.
Right, I'm scared. But where are we gonna put the bike?
Yeah.
And these
I guess we're close to.
Damn, my neck hurts. See, there's nobody at the bird feeder yet. I see a van down there. It's the Dogos. Yeah, it's the Dogos. Dogo people out here. I have to take a week. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
Oscar Wilde.
We got another hour.
The artist selector I am living with.
Face is frozen.